Hello, hello. Michelle here at Serendipity House. How are you guys? I'm gonna find myself here. Look behind me. What do you think? So I finished up the top after my live the other day, and I am happy, I think, with how it looks. I'm trying not to be too over analytical because I tend to change things a lot when I am. And I came in this morning and am starting, I'm going to be doing some shading, but I've been playing around with some hardware. I had like 6 different ones, and I've narrowed it down to these. You'll get in a little closer, but that's why there's 2 different kinds of hardware on it, because I'm a little indecisive. I keep switching. Hi, Rosa. Say hello when you come on. So if you missed the live the other day when I did the finishing touches on this, what I've got here is DIY paint. This is Skeleton Key, and the dark blue is Bohemian Blue. I've got the Wallflower Iron Orchid Design Transfer. There's 2 transfers on here because they're all cut up, and I've got about 1/3 of one left. And most of it is how it came off the transfer, although I did kind of piece some of it in to fill in, to try to balance the red and the white and the blue on each side. And so now I want to do some shading, and I've got these clear glass pulls, and then I've got these pulls that I bought from Anthropology a long time ago that I've been saving for just the perfect project because they were expensive, but I don't know if this is the project. It looks good here. So you guys can give your input on that maybe when you get a little closer. I don't know if you can tell the way you are right now. Hi, Jean and Patricia and Andrea and Rhonda. How are you guys? I finally got a new bulb up above, a new fluorescent light. Yay. So it's not dark, but it's also not real pretty. All right, gonna have a sip of my coffee, and then we're gonna be using Dark and Decrepit. I also have Golden Ticket out, but I'm just not sure, so we're gonna see how it goes. This has 1 coat of sealer over the transfer, and I'll be doing 1 more, probably 2 more top coats on the top since it's a buffet. And I can't move it because I snapped a wheel on my little wheelie things the other day. So let's see, let's get started over here. This thing is just such a beast, such a beast. Let's see, I'm gonna move you guys onto a stool. We're gonna work on the door, and then we'll work on the top. You guys don't have to sit on the stool, but I'm going to move the camera to the stool. That way you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit more clearly. Here's where, so maybe you could see the hardware, even though it's a bizarre kind of an angle, a little bit better here. I really love the one with the gold. I just don't know if this is the right application for it. I don't know. What do you guys think? And I'm going to sit down here on my stool, and I really wish I could see that far, but I can't, so I'm going to move you guys up here. Okay, good morning, Deanne. How are you? I might have to just get on the floor to do this. So these round ones here, and then these, I don't know. I might take votes later if I'm not completely convinced, because I'm just not sure. All right, so what I've got is my DIY Dark and Decrepit. This has a built-in sealer, but I'm going to seal 1 more time because of the transfers. Even though you don't really have to seal over this, I will be, just because of the transfers. And I'm going to just use, I've got some wet shop cloths in my cup, and I'm using my turquoise iris brushes. Maybe you guys, let's see. Maybe we should do this angle. Is this better? Maybe, so we could just see a little bit more in detail what I'm doing. since this is sealed, I'm not really worried about getting it where I don't want it because it'll wipe up with my cloth. So I'm just going to grab my brush. I am going to, excuse me, I'm going to put my iPad up so I can see your questions and answer them. Hi, Kathy. Feels like romper room. Because I said hi, Jean. Remember that show? I don't know how, they didn't used to say Michelle as often as I would have liked, that's for sure. But I totally remember watching Romper Room. Okay, so let's see, I'm going to start with just a regular kind of tip brush. I'm going to dip right into this. And I've got two different ideas. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to sit down on my butt. Hopefully you don't have to watch me struggle to get back up. I want to follow the molding along here, but I also am thinking I might want to shade around where the flowers are, but I'm not sure of that idea yet. So let's start with going around the molding. And this is definitely a kind of less is more thing because it's totally okay. You know, it's this. I like this to be subtle, and I'm not even going to rub that back. So I'm going to dip right into my lid. I did shake this first so that I have some in the lid. And I'm just going to do this, and I don't have much on my brush, which allows me to kind of feather it out a little bit. I want to get rid of that line. Now, sometimes I do this with a cloth or my hand, right there. It's not much, but I'll do the top after instead of the other door and get a picture of the door like close up pre-shading and post-shading, because I can always tell, even though it doesn't look like much when you're close up or when I'm doing it on camera. Hi, Donna. How are you today? So this is just kind of sticking right, and this is where you're going to see it. It's against the skeleton key, my new most favorite chameleon color. Well, it's not new, but all right. Now I just want to feather it a little bit, and you could do as much or as little as you want. Usually I do like a quick application, and then I will go back and see if I want to add more, because it's kind of hard to take up. So can you see? You can't really even see that on camera, can you? I can see it. Ooh, I had my door open, and so I have flies in here. You see the fly flying around my head? All right, get a look at this here. I think maybe a little more pronounced. I'm going to step back and look at it though. I don't want it to be too pronounced. And one of the reasons that I'm mostly on this piece doing the Dark and Decrepit and the shading, it could be done the way it is, like it really doesn't need a bunch more, but my middle drawers on this have nothing. All right, so can you see that? My middle drawers have nothing, and so I feel like they need a little something. Okay, I can see that on the camera now. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to use my finger. Oh, that's already starting to dry. All right, this stuff dries fast. Now, if that happens, because I've already got sealer under it, I'm using my cup here. This is a wet shop cloth. Let's just see if I can feather that in a little bit more. If you get too much. Now you really, if you're using your Dark and Decrepit, you really have to have it over something sealed, because pretty sure this is, yeah, there we go. Because if you don't have it over something sealed, you won't be able to do this. It'll just stick right into your paint. All right, I just didn't want it to look like I've got lines. So now I might just keep adding where I want. Like I like a little bit more on the corners here. And I'm gonna feather that a little bit while I can still manipulate it. There. Oops, I'm finding I'm finding hardware and nuts on the floor. Who else washes nails in their pockets? I can't even tell you. All right, can you see that? Now we're gonna add a little bit more here. I have the darndest things go through the washing machine. I'm really glad that I'm the one in charge of the laundry on some days because it's just downright embarrassing, the things I put through the wash. My son also used to, he's 16 now, but he used to collect rocks. He used to love putting rocks in his pockets, as little boys often do. And I used to wash a lot of rocks. All right, we like that? See, I feel like even though that's subtle, it has a huge impact. Now I'm gonna add some to the door because I like that I put more on there. So let's go back to the door and add some more on. Go ahead and ask questions if you have any. I can actually see the feed today. The shading really adds in a subtle way. I think it makes a huge difference. I really do. I love this part. I love these little details, and I really do think they make a huge difference. They add dimension. It's kind of like when you're looking at it and you're going, oh, I don't know what it is about that. But it's almost like it comes alive. I might need to back you up a little bit so you can see the whole. So I just want to kind of have it be a little bit more faded. Now you could also do this with wax instead of the Dark and Decrepit. So if I had waxed this instead of Dark and Decrepit right now, I would be putting in black wax or dark wax for the same effect. I just used a water-based top coat. I used Big Top on this. And so I use Dark and Decrepit over Big Top, and I use colored waxes when I wax. So I like to just accentuate the corners there. Oh, and you know what? Actually, this is kind of also letting me kind of have a look to see if I want to go around. Do I dare go around some of these flowers? What do you think about that? Let's try. Let's just, I'm an adventurist. All right, now I'm gonna try to do a little, I'm not gonna try, I'm gonna do a little shading. Whether or not it'll stay is anybody's guess. Because you guys know how I roll. All right, I've got a little bit on my brush, and I am just gonna kind of dab and go around. I'm gonna just do a little bit to see how I like it. I feel like all of this also adds to the hand-painted look. All right, I don't have much on my brush. You really can barely see this. Of course, if you're up on top of your work and you're one of those critical people, I don't try to be critical, I just, and I just want it to, maybe the whole blue thing there needs to be, what do you think? I think I need more. I think I'm like working, I'm working too dry. What I'm trying to fade, okay, that's good, is I don't want the line on the blue part, like on the outside. I like it when it's a little over the transfer. Ooh, wait, maybe I'm onto something. I don't mind that line there. This fly's driving me crazy. Ugh. Maybe I should just name them and give it up. Alrighty, sorry. I'm concentrating right now. Let's just finish this spot right here and then see. All right, now my brush is pretty dry, but I'm gonna go back a little bit and blend. All right, I really like that. I need to step back and look at it, but what do you think? Oh, should I leave it? I feel like that really like adds to the hand painted look of what the transfers already look like. So let's fix this where I smudged it and didn't like it. And I don't really mind the line there. It looks intentional. And like it's part of the, all right, what do you think? Feedback? I'm gonna turn around in a second, see what you guys have to say. I should probably leave it alone and not keep messing with it because it's beyond blending. What do you think? Do you guys like that? Yes, no? Hi, Lynn. How are you? Hi, Suzanne. Susan, sorry. Liking the shading around the transfer. Yes. So this part right here, do you think it's too much? I mean, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so worst case scenario, you guys, honestly, worst case scenario is I come back, I do a little rubbing, I'll be able to get this off, and it won't show up much, like if I don't want it, because I've already got a top coat. And worst case scenario, like if this were over white, I may have to go back and repaint around. But I think I like it enough. I'm trying to look at it on camera. I think I like it enough to continue the way it's going and go with this look. So I've just got the Dark and Decrepit on, and I've got my brush sideways, my turquoise iris. I don't know which brush this is. Favorite. It comes in the brush pack of the turquoise iris on my website. All right. Yeah, this kind of looks very watercolory. All right. Love it. I'm going with it. Yay! You know what else is good? It's quiet in here today. I can't play the music because if I play the music, what's going to happen is Facebook will take my video down. But, you know, later, because this is probably going to take me a while, I will put on my music and just kind of zone out and be in my happy place. Not that I don't like going live, but I think I need a balance of both. All right, good. I imagine that that's how you guys all do your work too. Well, that came out pretty dark, but I'm gonna go back. Get that. I don't know what I'm gonna listen to. The other day I had this horrible playlist on that iTunes suggested for me, and I must have, on one day I must have been playing folk music because they played this really weird, some really weird folk music, and it was so like slow and depressing that I just wasn't getting any painting done. And I had a friend here and she's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, I don't know. iTunes, Siri, they must think I need like a depressed kind of day today. All right, so let's see. I'm not sure I love all of this. Let's go in and even that out a little bit. So if you have too much, yep, it's definitely wiping off because I've sealed under it. I think a little bit of, let's see, part of what I'm having trouble with right now, that's actually the transfer I'm trying to wipe off and not my own paint, is when it is these little spots here where I don't know if I should have like a totally empty spot or if it should be totally brown, you know, like where it's kind of makes like a complete, all right, how is that? I have a feeling that this is something that I could sit here and do for hours and kind of fix it, but I'm gonna leave it flowy. By fix it, I mean be anal over it. All right. Hi, Maria. Hi, Amy and Carol. I think it definitely adds a dimension. All right. I think it'll add to the top too. I'm kind of excited. This is going to take a very long time. Is this relaxing to watch? It's one of those things where I just don't know if it's kind of slow going. I'm going to finish this door, and then we're going to move over to an empty drawer. And then you guys are going to give some thought about the hardware and let me know which hardware you think looks better, because I really am torn. A lot of times it's obvious to me and I can make my mind up pretty easily. Let me just holding on really loose here. But and actually the other ones that I already took out were easy decisions. One of them was navy blue with some white on it, and it just competed too much with the transfer, and so it had to go. And another one was these glass ones, except it was oval, and I was sure those were going to be the ones I liked best, but there was something about the oval shape that didn't work with the flowers, and I don't know, it just didn't work. They were very similar to the glass ones that are on there. And sometimes I'm just very visual. I just need to like see. I am purposely shaking my hand here. I haven't even finished my coffee, so it's not that. Now, let's see, I might have a kind of a heavier hand here than I did on the top. That's what I want to check and make sure that it's kind of even. This looks all right. There's my fly again, my fly friend. Let's see, what do we think there? I think I'm going to shade in these kind of weird areas here. That's my decision right now. All right, what do we think? Let's stand you back. I need to stand back too. That's how I can usually tell. Getting so close up on something makes it a lot harder for me to see. All right, plus my right leg is asleep right now. just to let you in on what's happening. All right, let's see what we think of that from back here. Oh, I didn't shade everything on the drawer. Well, boy, from back here, the whole thing looks hand painted. I don't feel like it's too much. What do you guys think? I mean, you got to look at the piece as a whole, which is just something that I've learned when I get too nitpicky. I think, all right, stand back. Nobody else is going to be looking at that one spot that you're picky about, and it's true. We're the only ones that see that. So, what do you think? Good. Good. I think I'm going to leave that and move on, since I know that it does, since I know that it will blend in and, wipe off a little bit if I need it to. Too much, too little, just right. All right. Now, while you're down here, let's look at the hardware. Well, you're let's see, you're straight on. It's my camera all right. So I want to know what you think about the hardware, and I'm going to put a vote up later. Oh, actually, you know what? Can you see the difference in the two doors? I kind of can, actually. This is a perfect perspective. I feel like the door that we just did has much more depth. Can you see both? Or am I too close? Yes, the one that we did has much more depth. I definitely love it more. Okay, so we are voting on the hardware. So there's the clear pulls. And then, I almost think that it depends on if we're looking at drawers or doors. And I really just can't decide on those. Simple might be better. The round ones might be better. Okay, but I love the door. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. I like it, especially when it goes over the flowers. The dark. Yes, because it makes it all look more hand painted, don't you think? Is that why you like it better that way? I think it just. I love it. I love this part. This is the part. All of this part is what makes it your own. And even though you might see 10 of these transfers or 100 of these transfers done, they really never look the same. And the way you customize it is what makes your piece stand out, I think. Okay, oh, here we go. We're gonna have a total split vote. You guys always do this to me. So the round ones, the drops, love the drop, white and gold, the round ones. I'm gonna just, after I finish shading, I'm gonna just like put up an actual vote. I love that. I love it. I'm very happy with it. All right, so do you guys want to watch any more? Should I do the drawer? I'm gonna finish this today. I'm like totally in my zone. I've got the inside. I've painted a little bit of the inside, and the rest of these are going to get cleaned and just I'm going to put some Wise Owl salve on the inside and on the inside of the drawers because they're in good condition, and I couldn't find a paper that I really love to line the drawers with, and I would like to have this in my shop by Monday. Tomorrow I have an auction I'm going to, so I'll be doing pictures of that. I can chat while I paint if you guys want to stay. I just don't want to I don't want to make like a super long, boring live if there's nobody watching, but as long as you guys are engaged, I'm engaged too because I love this. All right, let's work on the top drawer. There's a little bit more of a close-up of the knobs. I just love these when I saw these I love gold. It might be a little bit too formal. And I was thinking of maybe adding golden ticket, but I actually really like the door we just did just as it is. So we might not need that. With everything going on, I think the round ones, the drops for another project, that's a little bit what I'm thinking. I love, love, love the drops, but maybe they would look better on something that didn't have all this other stuff going on, so that they were kind of the star of the piece, like something that didn't have that was just like if this piece were without the transfer, totally without the transfer. I'm just trying to dull the line right there. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, Deanne, for that reason. They really are spectacular. You know, they would look really pretty on a totally white piece, although I never do like plain white. Like if I'm gonna do white, it's always like chippy or shaded. You know, it always has more than that going on, but I could see that being really awesome. These being really awesome on like a white glossy piece, which is not something that I'm going to be doing, but maybe it'll end up in my house on something. Gosh, sometimes it's like what the difference is what I have on my brush for product. Like it's pretty dry right now. All right, we're gonna go for less is more on here and keep it neat. Yeah, okay, so you can definitely see the difference between the two there. Love it. I'm on the right track. Hi, Dana. The drops would look good, would look wonderful on a white chippy piece. On a chippy piece, you think? I feel like they're pretty formal, but, and I'm not really a formal person. But I just love these. I love and actually I liked it on here just because of the line of it and having it against the blue. I love hardware from Anthropologie though. When there's a sale, I totally hit the sale. Although I have had a few misses where hardware has been like, I think I'm just really bad at reading directions, reading descriptions and sizes, because I've gotten some knobs and things from there that were so huge when they came in the mail that I just couldn't believe how huge they were. Like I don't know what they would be used on. They were so big. I did keep them. I probably resold. I mean, I've done it a few times. I'm pretty bad at reading measurements and judging how big things are going to be. I think I've told the story before when I first started shopping, when eBay was first around, and I was all into that craze and bidding on things. And at the time, I was trying to buy pieces of Lenox that matched the china that I got for my wedding. So this was like 20 years ago or more. And I bought a bowl, a basin, like a bowl and a pitcher. And I bid high because I thought I was getting an awesome deal. I was so excited to get it. And I didn't realize that I was shopping under the miniature section. And so I thought I got this big pitcher and bowl Lenox. Oh my God, I was so excited. I had a spot. It was like this big when I got it. So I didn't get a deal. I was really embarrassed because I had bragged about it, winning it, to my husband. So that's still kind of a joke in my house. And because it was so funny, I've kept it. I still have that stupid little pitcher and bowl that I probably paid $80 for. Oh my gosh. Lesson learned, right? All you can do is laugh. All right. I think it'll probably be the round knobs, but I am going to put a vote out for people who missed the live. Like it. All right. I'm going to work on the top honestly, so I can stand up. And as long as you guys are here and not saying you have somewhere else to go, I'm just going to zoom you down and try not to dump anything over. So now we're going to go up to the top of my piece. And there's my mess over there. I'm working on a kidney-shaped desk that needs to be sanded today. I got my coffee on here, which is okay because this is all sanded. All right, I'm going to be working right over here, right there. There's my lid, and my brush. Now, if only I could have my music on. All right, here we go. All right, this is pretty good. You guys can see my legs aren't going to keep falling asleep. And it's well lit over here. You know, I don't want to dip my brush into the can because I don't want too much on it. So come on, true confession. Has anybody else ever had that problem with buying a miniature? Oh, Anthropologie rugs, I know. I definitely can't afford those. All right, I am gonna start right over here. And let's see. I'm trying to think about if angle matters. Let's see if it does. So I am just kind of I am purposely wiggling my hand. I don't want straight. I am painting over the transfer, beyond the transfer. I'm doing some wiggling so it looks like watercolor. And if I think I've got it on too thick, you can just go back with your finger Now, what I don't like about going back with my finger is that I've taken off that little wiggle mark that I made, and now it's a straight line. But I'm just showing you that it is removable, but you got to work in small sections. All right, I'm going to redo that because I actually liked it better. Kind of messy. Okay, and I'm just going to keep edging. Keep edging. Hi, Paula. The view of the top. I know, isn't it nice and crispy? Sometimes when I come in after doing a project, especially when I'm doing it live, and so I have kind of a different focus when I'm live. Like I'm worried about so many things that sometimes I'm not really kind of seeing my project, if that makes sense. So if I come in the next day and I'm still loving my project and what I did the day before, it's a good day. And it doesn't always happen. So many times I've gone with something live, especially when I'm doing, when I'm painting, like on the DIY page, and I've already committed to a color. Like I can't change it mid-color, so the next day I will go back and change. And I don't know, I just change my mind all the time. But I can tell you the times that I have thought I should change something and didn't, and instead went with it to save time and just figured, oh, somebody will love it. Somebody will buy it. Those have been the pieces that I end up like not liking myself, rush out of the shop because they're not really what I wanted. And they sit. It's almost like they get this like energy around them where it's like people know that. Ooh, love this. All right, now I need my hand, I need to steady my hand here. It feels kind of shaky, so I just put my pinky down. I really, I don't remember who I was talking to the other day about this, but I really love the products that I use, which is why I sell them. And I feel like you have to, or it doesn't work. I mean, you can't sell something you don't love. And so this is looking a little dark right there. And so I hope, I mean, I think that it shows when I'm using the things that I sell, it's because I love them. That's why I sell them. You can't sell a product that you don't believe in. I know it was somebody who was thinking about selling paint. That's where the discussion came. And my biggest comment, because these are not the first lines of products that I've sold. I've had some that I don't sell anymore. And part of the reason is because I just, after a while, just didn't love the product. It wasn't working for me, or the company, or something with them. And so you really need to love what you're selling, because, hey, half the time I forget to say, oh, by the way, I have a website, honestly, because I'm just like doing my art. You guys know, or you wouldn't have found me. The brown against this white flower is just amazing, and I think it's amazing because there's already brown in the flower. I want you guys to like see this like I see it, like just like right on top of it. Let's see, where was I? I'm over here, and I just need my hand to go in a certain. So I guess what I've decided is the good way to hold the brush for me on this is to have the brush facing out, you know, in this direction, kind of coming over. I'm not trying to stay off the transfer either. I am definitely partially on the transfer and partially off. Now these little marks here where I've kind of crisscrossed, I don't love those. It looks like I lost a little control of my brush, so I'm just gonna clean those up a little bit. Or not clean it up, make a mess of it. What do you think now that you're a little bit more close up? Love, 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 love. Amen, you can. I don't even know what I said, Brianna, because, oh, that you can't sell something that you don't. You know what? If you have a product and you love it, you don't even have to sell it. It sells itself. Or like, it's almost like it sells by accident because of the, you know, you guys see everything I do, right? I mean, I know a lot of you already use these products, and that's why you follow me from the DIY page or the IOD page. But totally just lost what I was going to say. Oh my God, you guys, this fibro fog put me in a house already. I'm 53 and I joke with my kids about when they put me in the home because there's just no way I'm not going to have dementia. There's just no way it's not happening. Let me take a breath and try to think of what I was going to say. Oh, you see me use the products real life. You've seen me make mistakes. You've seen me fix them. You know, so it's all just real. I keeping it real. I'm definitely not a person to, I speak from experience. I teach from experience. If I don't know something, I'll let you know. That's the only way I know how to be, because look, you know why I think? Because I forget what I'm saying mid-sentence, so I could never make something up. I don't have that ability anymore. I used to be good. I used to be a good bullshitter. Now I just don't. I would like totally lose my lie half mid-sentence, I think. All right, so, Are we still there in the, I know my hand is covering some of this, but I can't, need to be able to get around. What do you think, Brianna? Now that you've just come in, what do you think about the Dark and Decrepit around the transfer? I feel like it makes it look a little more hand-painted, and we're just right on top of it right now. So when I stood back at the doors, I liked it. Now also, so the Dark and Decrepit, because it has a sealer in it, it's not going to smudge when I go back to seal. Whoops, I almost just dipped in my coffee. All right, I'm thinking with like things like leaves, because they're so thin, maybe just, well, no, not one side. I'm definitely outlining more than I'm shadowing, because I think if you shadow, then you're only coming from one direction and you're thinking real hard about where the sun is going to be. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just doing all the way around. There's no rhyme or reason, it's just everywhere. The whole thing is going to get shadowed. It's the unrealistic shadowing. The sun could be anywhere. Hi, Sherilyn. It's line work. Oh, okay, that's what it's called, line work. You're my little wordsmith, Brianna. It provides good depth. Yes, I may be wrong. Seems the shading is darker on top than the door you did, but it could be because of better lighting. That is very possible. When I am doing multiple doors or drawers or a right side and a left side of things, as I like something, because I know I like it, I do tend to subconsciously put more on. And so I will check that. That's one of the things I will check before I'm done, is kind of the balance of the shading. And I may very well need to go darker on the doors. Very astute of you. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, but that's something that I've noticed, because I do like to have it balanced. Let me see what I think actually it's pretty similar on the door. Yep, it's the lighting. It's dark on the same kind of darkness on the door. But I appreciate that you noticed that. love, love, love. I want to see all of your Dark and Decrepit projects. Of course, I'm glad. I wanted to share this because I think this is just fun. This is really fun stuff for me. And, you know, I can't, some of this, because even though I'm doing a project with a transfer on it, I can't share on the IOD page. Right now I'm trying to think, I've got 2 lives this week, what I'm going to be doing and saving for that. And this would be perfect on the DIY page, except I don't want to wait until Wednesday to work on it again, because I need some painted pieces in my shop. It's pretty white in there right now, just because painted pieces have sold. Somebody came in who liked color. I wait a really long time for those people. I sold pieces that had been in there quite a while. Mostly they're off. All right, yeah, that's pretty dark around that leaf right there. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got too much on my brush right there, but let me finish this. Wiggly line. Also, the D&D is a little bit translucent, so it comes off sometimes as like you can really see the brush line. All right, I kind of like that, how it did that there. I'm always like, let's see, I just want to lighten in there, but keep it there. I know I have to go back and do that on the door on a part I did. Voila! $1 million. Sometimes that's how I feel when especially, you know what, when you add new hardware to something. Yeah, that gets expensive. All right, I feel like I'm ready to turn my music on and sneak peek at the mess behind me and just kind of like get into my zone for an hour and finish this up. People are very fond of neutrals here too. So white, actually, the white pieces kept selling, so I kept painting white. I think like for the colored pieces I had in the shop, I probably was selling gray and white, 2 or 3 pieces of gray and white before like a green piece with the transfer sold. Like that's how long. And it just so happened that a couple people came in and bought like 4 pieces of my colorful stuff. And so I'm trying to get some more color in there. It needs it. Since I don't have any of the paints you use, what is the difference between Dark and Decrepit versus a thinned out black acrylic? I don't know the difference. I don't remember the brand that you use, but I have done this with glaze. You could do it with acrylic. I mean, the difference is going to be, I'm not sure that it will work the same way in the sense of translucency and being able to rub it back. I'm not sure how an acrylic would dry so that you could manipulate it the same way, because I am going to go back and lighten up some spots. So you might want to just test that out. But it's the same thing. You can do shading or line work, as Brianna calls it. And you could do it with any of that. Just practice on how much you can manipulate it and wipe it off if you want to be able to do that. So yes, let me see. I totally almost said smart. Don't dip your brush in the coffee. I've never done that. People are always joking. But I mean, I never have a mug when I'm here. I always grab coffee to go on the way in. Thank you for the explanation of shading versus lining. If you're talking to me, I gave the explanation and Brianna gave the word to us. Yes, I love that. I think, is that what it's called when you look at a watercolor painting and there's like the black line work, like the stark difference of the black kind of outlining it? I love that look. I love it. I just didn't know what it was called. At the beginning, this transfer was not my favorite, but the shading certainly changed my mind. Thank you, Nellie. Yeah, even with a transfer, I always feel like it's one more layer and I just kind of keep layering. I have glazed, like total glazed over these, a whole piece, to dull down the color. Some people sand them to kind and distress them a little bit. But if you just think of it as another layer in your artwork and you make it your own. If you don't like it stark like it is, you can dull it, you can cut it up into pieces, you can do a crackle finish over it. Sky's the limit. You're not done. When it goes on, you don't have to be done. And that's what I love about them. And it takes a long time. It takes a long time to kind of trust the process and know that you just can keep adding to change and to get to where you want to. Yes, like with watercolor. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you didn't give a SHARE, can Facebook spell? I don't know. Give one. All of the stuff I'm using, IOD, DIY, is on my website, serendipity.house. And the stuff on my website, other than some of the Wise Owl, is all in stock and ready to ship. So you get it within the week. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining. Have an awesome day. I'll see you guys later because I'm going to let you in on the auction I'm going to, what's there. And I've got my eye on a few pieces, so I'm hoping that I come away with some good stuff. So I'll let you know. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.